Hello, I'm gonna make a video about skinny shaming. So when I was 15, I went to this school dance. So it's a public school dance. Well, it wasn't a public event. You had to pay, and it was for high school students only at the age of, well, in the year 10 age, year 9 and 10 dance. So we call it was lots of different schools in my town all gathering for this thing, the disco. Dance. Too cool to be a disco now. No longer an elementary, primary school. So, right here in New Zealand, in my hometown, me and my friend, I'm gonna call her T, because her name began with that letter. We went to this dance together, because the rest of our friends weren't going this time around. And we hung out for a little bit before the dance, like, together and like eating some chips. There were a lot of chips, like, classic New Zealand snack or lunch meal, snack meal. Like, there's a lot of chips and like we share it, and I eat a lot. Like, I've always had like a good, healthy, like kind of medium to large appetite, even though I'm skinny. I feel like it's because I'm naturally skinny and I have a high metabolism, and I feel like I also naturally have a lot of energy, more energy than most people, at least while growing up. I did. And I've always been quite flexible, quite like, I feel like I was built for sports, like dancing sports and that kind of thing. So I feel like that's why my body's that kind of build and has more energy to it. So that requires more food consumption too. And I think that all plays in together as to why I was naturally skinny while having a bigger appetite. Even if I didn't move around a lot, my metabolism was just built that way. I think it's like a species type of thing, like human species. Like, some people are built a bit bigger, but then that has its pros and cons. Some people are built really small, that has its pros and cons. Things like that. I feel like there's like a survival use for it. So people like me are like a good, like, human species, not race or something like that, but more like a type of body you are, type of system you are as a person, body type and all of that. I feel like my type of body is just good for agility, speed, running, swimming, maybe like ballet dancing, those kinds of sport activities. Meanwhile, some of the bigger bodies that might be more slower to move but much more powerful and just like a swing of an arm, things like that are a bit more better built for like heavy building, like lifting heavy things. The types of sports would be like dodgeball or like throwing things, things like that. So, each human species bodies are like built for a certain use. So that's why skinny people are actually healthy in their own way, like not just in their own way, but they're actually healthy. Many skinny people with high metabolism are just naturally very healthy and advantaged in a certain way. It doesn't make them malnutritioned, it doesn't make them, anything negative actually, So anyway, so I'm naturally a slim person with a healthy appetite and, yeah, high metabolism. So anyway, I repeated that a few times. So I ate a lot that day. Not overeating, because even within my own appetite range, there's overeating. But I just naturally ate a lot. And then we went to the dance, and it was about 5 or 6 p.m. when the doors were open and all that. And we were like lining up to get our tickets, and then when we reached the ticket spot, there were the year 13s from different schools. Like, it was a co-school organized dance, so they were probably from different schools. But anyway, when it was our turn to buy the tickets, my friend, who's taller than me, also was a little bit like sturdier than me. Even though like she wasn't She wasn't fat or skinny. She was just like perfect in between, just like normal, what most people at the time considered healthy. Even though I was very healthy myself, probably healthier than her actually. But like since I'm naturally skinny and small, especially being a 15-year-old Korean girl, like my body, it just naturally looks smaller, way smaller than hers. Even though we were both a healthy weight for our own bones. The people sold, the year 13s sold our tickets, and then they just turned to me and they were like, oh, after the dance, take a feed, okay? Go somewhere and take a feed. And I was like, I didn't get what they said, so I was just like, pardon? And they were like, I said, after the dance, so there was a girl and a boy, and they were both saying this to me at the same time, like gesturing, looking at each other, and like implying and smiling and laughing, and they were like, oh, after the dance, go somewhere and take a feed. Like they were like laughing with each other, and the guy was just Asian and the girl was blonde. I remember this, and I was just like, I just stared at them for 5 seconds, and they didn't care because I was a year 10, so they weren't even intimidated or anything. They were just like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. And it was so surreal to me. I was like, and then I just turned away and I was just like, wow, that was a great welcome to this dance, like, you know. And after all these years, I'm just thinking of the thing that I could have told them, which was, well, I just ate so many chips and I'm just naturally this skinny. Are you jealous? Are you jealous? Is that why you're putting me down? Why are you going to be jealous of someone who you say doesn't even look that great according to your standards? I mean, I just ate a lot. You want me to overfeed myself and get diarrhea? Like, you know, that was skinny shaming for sure. In 2011, that was the time, you know, people could get away with that really easily because some people just literally didn't understand that skinny people are actually skinny because they're healthy. Not because they're malnourished, not because their body's not working, but actually because their body's working exceptionally well. Probably better than some people who can't digest fast, you know? Things like that. Anyway, yeah, even though I'm a bit bigger than back then, I was actually healthier at that time according to my, like, body type. Because right now, the only reason I look a little bit muscly and bigger is because my whole body was melting earlier this year, and so I had to work out so much, like more than 10 hours in a row every single day, because I thought I was going to die. I'm not even kidding. And I'm very serious about this, that I thought I was, you know, I needed to work out all the time, or else my body would be in big trouble, because there was so much going on. And anyway, so that's why my body looks a bit bigger right now. So that's so ironic that I was actually much healthier back then when I looked smaller, even smaller than now. It's just that I was this compact body. It's like a small smartphone compared to a 90s big huge phone, you know? It's just like telling two people, like a really slim but healthy person, that they need to eat more, that they're not healthy, when that's actually the opposite. And then they're telling this bigger person, like, oh, you're so much healthier than this person. But actually, this nano phone is just more compact, much more superior in how it runs its system. Meanwhile, this brick phone, it's really slow. But you just judge from the cover, and even from that, it doesn't make sense to me why you think just because you have a bigger body that you're healthier. It's not true at all, and I'm not slamming bigger bodies at all, because I'm not talking about people who are naturally of a bigger body size, but they're really healthy. I think they're really healthy. But I'm talking about like someone who could be chubbier, you know. Even then, I'm not putting them down, because I think everyone has their own form of beauty, and every body type has its own absolute best state of being. That one body type, it's healthiest to not look like a stick. And another body type, it's healthiest when it is a stick, because it's naturally a stick shape. And every body type has its own absolute best look. And I understand why some people, why so many people have been envious of skinnier people who are naturally skinny, because we see models and all that on TV all the time who look naturally slim, naturally long-limbed, all of that, but now it's 2019, it's not 2011 anymore, it's not even 2011 anymore. So now we have so many different body types on our TV screens that we can look at and know that every single body type is beautiful, like curvy, or like even just a little bit thick, or like just thick, or like just whatever we have, that everyone is beautiful. Everyone can be healthy no matter what body type you are, what body shape you are, what body size you are even. Just at least you are actually healthy, then that's great. And healthy doesn't necessarily mean not skinny either. That's what I want people to know, that people who are naturally skinny, no matter how anorexic they look in your eyes, if they tell you that they are actually naturally skinny, then you have to believe and know that they're actually at a healthy weight, because they were built that way. Yeah, it's just like telling a goldfish to eat more because they're smaller than a salmon. But if a goldfish becomes as big as a salmon, that's extremely abnormal, and that's just almost not going to happen. And if they attempt to become as big as a salmon, they're probably going to explode and die. So if you don't want skinny people to die, then don't tell them to eat so much more to become so much bigger like another body type. Each body is beautiful. Each body has its own range of like size, what's their healthy size, not just weight, but actual appearance and just how they feel about it, how they feel in their body. Like, do I feel sluggish? Maybe I need to lose weight, maybe I need to tone. Or do I feel very, very light and just comfortable in my body? No matter what size you are, you just feel light in your body, then that's probably your best weight, best state, everything. So yeah, thank you for watching, and love yourself. Yeah, and love it. You don't have to love yourself, actually. Just acknowledge yourself. Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, appreciate. Thanks. Bye. Actually, if you want to love yourself, you can love yourself.